This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Yes, sir. This fucking hair. Gorgeous hair when even a more gorgeous day. What's up with the what's up? UFC, Sandhagen, YaDong coming this weekend, boys and girls. I am fucking jacked for this card. This is a very, very underappreciated, underrated card. We're looking at not the biggest name value, but we're looking at bangers of fights. I tweezed it yesterday. I like some dogs on this one. I'm feeling confident. I got a slime ball for you before we get to the fights, because that's all I want to talk about. Clean up some things at the top. We'll dive in the fights, run through them real quick. Number one, grandfather's funeral was Friday. Again, can't thank you guys enough for all the condolences and everything. The funeral went without a hitch. There was some possible family drama that could have popped up that could have maybe been kind of unfortunate. That did not happen. It was a beautiful funeral. I gave a nice little eulogy, said what I wanted to say, got a little emotional. I haven't really cried through the whole thing, and I started talking about him. You know, I had planned out what I was going to say, and I got a little emotional, pulled on the heartstrings, and I pulled it back, reeled it in because, you know, my grandpa doesn't like that stuff, but it was a very emotional day. So good seeing family I haven't seen forever. So good seeing my grandma, just being able to hug her. She's the greatest woman in the world. And then, so it was peaceful. It was nice. I'm at peace with it. Obviously, I'm still thinking about him. I'm still going through all that stuff, all the emotions of grief, but it was really good kind of getting it done. And he did exactly the way I want to go out, right? His funeral was at his gravesite. So it wasn't like in a funeral home or anything like that. It was right where he got cremated. He had a nice little marbleized box with his name on it. And me and my cousin, even though I call him my uncle, Jeff, said a few words. And then some guy from the church that they went to for a very long time, he came in and said a few words, and that was it. You know, sometimes, you know, to each his own, sometimes funerals are like an all-day thing. And I looked at my wife, I was like, I don't want that. I want what my grandpa just had. Short and sweet. Let's go. Right? Second thing is, with all that being said, my life has been pretty fucking crazy. 3 months ago, we lost my father-in-law. My wife is still dealing with that stuff. I'm trying to be there for as best I can. We got two little girls, one little girl to start school. Obviously trying to be the best dad I can with that, helping her with schoolwork, all that. And then obviously doing the Anakin flooring, having a real job, doing this and that. So I feel like I'm slipping through the cracks. I haven't done a Wednesday takes in a while. And the pick'ems are they were coming out late a little bit. I didn't give a slime ball, you know, whatever. Not trying to make excuses or anything like that, but I'm now that all this is kind of behind me and I'm positive for what's coming up. I'm you know, my plan is to, you know, really push the podcast and stuff like that and really kind of get on my P's and Q's and really put out content for you guys. And I love the support that everyone is giving me. This is my dream job. I don't do this for a job. This is my dream job, though. This is what I'm trying to do. And I mean, I love it. I love it more than anything in the world. And so I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. We're still marching for 1,000. I think we're like 150 away on YouTube where you're watching that. So tell a friend, tell a boyfriend, tell a side chick, tell a side dude, side dick. Let's get to 1,000 subs. And I can give away some shirts, baby. But I get emails all the time from like people like, hey, we're in the production industry. We caught your show. We think we can be in service, you know, because we want to make shorts for you. You should have a YouTube short thing. You should maybe be on TikTok. You should send little clips out of your podcast, which I've done in the past, which I definitely want to do more because you get people watching your short form that wants to make them watch your long form. I know that. But these past weeks, months, whatever, have been pretty crazy on the old life of BP. So I'm trying to sort that out right now and trying to get all that, you know, and it feels like it's sorted, you know, with everything. So hopefully no more bad shit happens to this whole family of mine, but, you know, just dealing with a lot. So I want to tell you, thank you for sticking with me. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to try to get some money. Speaking about money, last week's event, crazy pay-per-view, didn't do so good on my picks, 0-3 on my locks. I did not give out a slime ball. And the reason is the fights got switched around. I was really loving Kevin Holland versus D-Rod. I really liked that matchup. And then the fights got switched around. I didn't know what to do. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. I'm not blaming that because I would have lost. My slime ball originally was going to be Kevin Holland, Hakeem Dawodu, and who else was Jailton Almeida. That was going to be my slime ball. Or Norman Dumont. I was flirting with him. But when Kevin Holland got switched up and then I started kind of freaking out, I didn't believe in the slime ball. That's such a soft dick move. You know what I mean? I'm a hard dick kind of guy. You put your nuts on the table, okay? And you place your bets win or lose. I was afraid to lose. That's such ED soft dick shit, okay? Your boy's got a hard dick. He's putting it on the table, and I should have gave it out. But eventually, in my mind, I didn't play it. But when Kevin Holland got switched up, it was Dawodu, Almeida, and Dumont. So I went 2 out of 3, but it's a loser anyway. I didn't give it out, so I would have lost, whatever. Dawodu disappointed me. Obviously, he was my mortal lock. 0-3 on my locks as well. It is what it is. The switch up kind of got to me, whatever. I didn't play any of the switch up fights. I didn't play any of those final 3 that got switched up. But we hit on some things. So last week I was up $87, so 0.87 units. My units are $100. This week, 27. Something with the sevens. Lucky number 7. $27. The only fight that saved me was Aldana by knockout. Unbelievable up kick to the body. I was very confident in that. I had obviously Jailton Almeida by finish, but I did not hit him by. I had him by TKO. I didn't have him by finish. I had him by TKO. Missed on that. That was the same game parlay. I tried to get that number down on him. I had Jay Collier by TKO. Obviously, that fell apart. That's what you do when you bet fucking Jake Collier at -410, but I got him by TKO. That's it. Small amount of money. I had Norman Dumont, and I had Norman Dumont by decision, so that was another really good one. Hitting on the women's MMA. Hitting on the women's. 2 fights, I'm starting to fucking read it. Chad Allen and Helger. Fucking nailed it. He was my dog lock. Missed on that small little play there. I also had Johan Lanis. I had him by knockout, which I missed, but I also had him straight. Did not same game parlay it because it just wasn't worth. They both were plus money. I want the plus money. Got him at plus 100, which is another small little win. And I didn't actually bet Dawodu. I had him in all the parlays I was going to do, but I didn't bet Dawodu. I didn't touch Johnny Walker, Kutalaba as well. Obviously, I didn't touch Jamie Pickett. But yeah, Irene Aldana essentially with that KO in that 3rd round garnered me a $27 profit. So thank you, Irene Aldana. Incredible fucking. I mean that fucking kick was nuts. That was right in the liver. I've told this story. Maybe I haven't told this story. So when you see this head of mine, right? I made it a prideful thing when I would train that I'm not getting put down. You ain't put me down, right? Of all the fights I've been into, never been knocked out before, never been put down before. And I was like prideful of that. I would go in there and spar with the biggest guy in the room and they'll be like, oh, you're an amateur, or you haven't even fought yet or whatever. And I love that shit. I always don't know there it is. Get this hair. This hair drives me nuts. Oh, look at that. That's why it's down, because it sticks straight up. Anyway, a guy was getting ready for a boxing fight. 165 pounds. At this point, I was probably like 260. So I outweighed him by about 100 pounds. But he's getting ready he was just a boxer. His boxing coach there. And him and I were buddies. And I would work with him all the time. I was a big body. I came forward. I could do southpaw. I could do orthodox. And I just gave him really good work. We were buddies. We were good guys. We're good buddies. And he's getting ready for a boxing tournament. So I was giving him a lot of work. And I remember one time, I told him, I was like, we can pick it up a little bit. Because, when you're sparring with somebody, you don't want, you feel them out. At least that's how I do. I'm not trying to take your head off. I outweigh this guy by 100 pounds. I'm not trying to fucking kill him. But I said, you can pick it up a little bit. This is fight week. Let's get a little tense. We were just kind of touching. So he picks it up or whatever. Again, not a big deal. He ripped me to the liver with a left hook to the liver. That made my insides feel like they swallowed acid. I felt like I was going to shit out everything out of my body. And I froze. I went, ooh. And I don't know if I made an audible noise, but you could tell I definitely was making a face. And I was like, I'm not taking a knee. I'm not even acknowledging this. You're powering through. And the whole time we were sparring, I was going forward. That's the only time I started going backwards. And his coach read it. His coach was Lou. Get him. All right, body again. And I'm just sitting there circling. He's coming after me, touching the body. And I'm just like, please just hit me in the face. Do not touch the body. Getting hit in the liver is absolutely fucking awful. And a guy that I outweighed by 100 pounds, just clean shot to the liver. Man, it is absolutely fucking dreadful. All right, so that's it. That's story time. Let's fucking, what is it? Someone. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, I ordered. You guys know me. I'm an Apple boy, right? Did not get. I've had an iPhone, a new iPhone every year since basically the first one, right? I've had every iPhone from the first one all the way up. The only ones I didn't get were like the S's, the one that were middle, and I didn't get the 13 because you guys know I don't like the number 13. Just don't like it. But the phone I got, the 12, this has just been a dud. It's been a lemon. Like I've literally been to Verizon and fucking Apple to try to get it fixed, switching SIM cards out. It's just nuts. So I woke up 8 a.m. Ordered a new iPhone. It's coming this week, so I'm fucking excited. Who else did that? What other fucking dork woke up 8:30 a.m. on a Friday? You know, I had to be up anyway because my grandpa's funeral, but I woke up at 8:30 or 8 o'clock a.m., not 8:30, 8 o'clock a.m., right when they were the pre-orders, and I pre-ordered it. Who does that? Raise a hand, okay? Golly, if I told you that and I didn't have this ring in my hand, but this guy's a fucking virgin. All right, let's go. Let's get in the fights here. Loma Lukabumi minus 255 versus, okay, another thing too, sorry. I printed these out and I made this Tapology. I switched all the battle orders. So the battle orders can be a little different than what it's going to actually be. So fucking don't hold me over the coals for it, okay? Loma Lukabumi minus 255 versus Denise Gomes. 6-1 plus 215. Nice little female fight here. Not kicking off the night, but it's kicking off the night on my thing. Denise Gomes, I looked her up. She's durable. She's tough. She's aggressive. She's fought some women with some nice experience. Came on the Contender Series, won an unanimous decision. Looks pretty, durable. And obviously she's only got that one loss. She doesn't know how to lose, but you got knockout, decision, knockout. But I just don't know if, I just don't know if she's ready yet. And I don't know if her game is going to be really all that well to Loma Lukabumi. Loma Lukabumi, she's small. She's got one of the best names to say. I say it really well. Loma Lukabumi. She is small for this division. Probably anim weight 105 is probably more her thing, but she is a slick Thai boxer. She's been in there with some good grapplers, has fared pretty well, is strong in the clinch. Her takedown offense is constantly improving. I believe she's in Vegas, and like when she came to Vegas, they were so blown away by her. Like, you got to stay. We're going to work it. So she's still a work in progress. How old is she? Okay, she's 26. So she's young, right? And she's got some good wins in the UFC. She's got some losses. She's been finished once, but not in the UFC. I like Loma Lukabumi here. I wish I could do dog here on Melissa Gomes. I don't know a ton about her besides what I saw in the Contenders and a couple of her regional fights. I think she's solid. I think she's good. Plus 215. I mean, a women's fight. Obviously, I think Loma Lukabumi isn't like future world champ, but maybe she could be. She is very young, but I like her here. But I'm not going to play it. Minus 255. I like maybe the over. Whatever that is. It's going to be set 2.5. It's going to be juicy. But I like the over here in the Loma Lukabumi fight. I just had to say her name one more time, but give me Loma Lukabumi, and I'm going to give me the dubs here. Do you guys... Oh, whoa. Oops. I'm not going to do the dubs on the screen. I just shared my slime ball because I got one, and it's a good one. So if you saw that, that's a little tease. Screenshot it so you don't have to wait to the end. All right, next up. I'm not going to do the dubs. I'm going Lukabumi. This fight is fucking with my brain. Tony Gravely. There's got a window in the way here. What is he? Plus 135. Tony Gravely plus 135 versus Javid Basharat minus 155. So this is playing with my fucking brain because I think Tony Gravely is an exceptional fighter. I think he's very good. Good grappling, good power. Times he has slowed down. The chin has been an issue. Look at the Nate Maness fight. Look at some of his fights previous. You got Javid Basharat, who's come off the Contender Series, who looked like an absolute stud. Him and the guy in the Contender Series talking shit to each other. Then Dave Zahhuber against Trevin Jones, who packs a big punch. Javid took some really big punches in that fight, and Trevin Jones is also pretty good on the ground as well, even though he doesn't showcase that much. And Javid showed some really good skills, and I was high on him. I even shot him out in Yannick and Florian. I thought this kid looked really good. Problem is here, I really like Tony Gravely at plus 135, but I backed myself in the corner, and I've already kind of stamped my stamp, the old BP stamp on Javid here, because you ever see like those NFL shows where guys like in the beginning of the year is like, the Green Bay Packers are going to the Super Bowl, and then they pick games weekly, and every week they pick against the team they said going to the Super Bowl. How does that work out, asshole? But I like Javid. I backed him, and I think he's very skillful. It's going to be a tough matchup. I do like Gravely at plus 135 for the value boys out there, my value boys, but Javid's flowy on the feet. He's good. He can take you down. Gravely, I think, is the better wrestler, has more of the power. I think Javid's going to be a little bit more refined with the striking, have a little bit more cardio, better movement. And minus 155, I think, is a decent little number. This is something I'm flirting with betting on, even though I think the side you should pick is Gravely, or Gravely. Excuse me, I always mispronounce his name, but I can't not support the guy I've already supported. I can't be one of those guys. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going to be one of those guys. Never. So give me Javid. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be a good fight. I like maybe a late TKO by Javid because Tony Gravely, again, he's a front runner. He does really good, but then he can get caught. The chin has been a little bit of an issue in times, but he's a really good fighter. He's stout. He's big and powerful. This fight, one of the fights of the night. It's the second fight of the night. And I think it's going to be an absolute banger. These are what I'm talking about. This is why this card's so fucking good. There's a lot of these sneaky ones here. Yeah, but give me Javid Baszler because I've already been on him. I've already talked about him. I just can't throw him away like yesterday's news. All right, next fight. Here we go. Female fight, Aspen minus 130 versus Sarah McMahon plus 110. Surprised by this line. I've been on the wrong side of Sarah McMahon for quite a long time. And she's 40 years old, right? 41 years old. I believe she's the main coach at Team Alpha Male. I believe sick wrestler. She's getting better with age. Her last time out against Cara Rosa, she looked amazing on the feet. She looked, her wrestling's always top notch. You got Aspen Ladd, who was the next thing, right? Do you remember her before she fought GDR? This girl's champ. This girl's mean. This got knocked out by GDR, tore knee up, came back, looked good against Yana Kutakaya, but then Norma Dumont fell flat, and then the Raquel Pennington fight fell flat. I think Sarah McMahon has the advantage everywhere here. I think Sarah McMahon is faster on the feet, believe it or not. At 41, her wrestling is worlds better than Aspen Ladd's. I think Aspen Ladd fights well on top. I don't think she fights well off the bottom. I think McMahon's going to come in here, and she's always in great shape, and she's going to take Aspen Ladd down. Aspen Ladd's a pretty big girl, pretty strong for this division. Might not be the easiest thing in the world, but I like Sarah McMahon here. And with all the dogs that I'm going to be picking, I like her.
Hello? Okay, this is Dog.
Okay, this is Dog lock of the night, Sarah McMahon. I just recapped the last week. Picking female MMA fights pretty good these days. Maybe not dog female MMA fights, but if they're minus 400, your boy's picking them. That's a sharp mind. I like Sarah McMahon here. I just don't know see how she loses. I mean, Aspen Ladd has looked flat. And, we all critiqued her coaches the last time she fought. And unless she switched camps and has done something different, I see Sarah McMahon here just having a nice performance. This is obviously going to go over. I like the over here. I like the decision by Sarah McMahon. I just think she's going to look better in every aspect of the game, and her cardio is on point for even being 41 years old. So give me Sarah McMahon here. Give me my dog fucking lock of the night. Another female fight. Maria Agapova. Yeah. Agapova. Fucking John just said it on the podcast. I should have remembered what it was. Versus Jillian Robertson. Din Thomas's. Really, I think the only fighter he corners now is Jillian Robertson. But this is an interesting fight here because they've trained together. Dean, excuse me. I always say Din. Dean was on the Anakin Flooring podcast and gave some insight. They trained together. They know what this girl's about. She's bounced around Florida. She's a wild woman. I've heard rumors she's a bad teammate. She's a bad this. She's a party girl, whatever. Rumors are rumors. But she has fallen flat in the UFC. Do you remember the Shannon Dobson fight? The biggest upset, line-wise. Obviously not. It doesn't compare to GSP Matt Serra as far as what things do, but as far as line-wise, it's the biggest upset in UFC history. Then you got her against Marion Moroz, completely gasses out, gets choked out. You got her against Sabina Mazo, rear naked choke, she won. Shannon Dobson looked terrible. Hannah Cypher's rear naked choke. So she's an aggressive striker. She looked good in the Contender Series. She's going to come at you, but cardio's a big question mark. They trained together before. My biggest issue is Jillian Robertson's fallen short a lot. When she's in there with girls who are really mean, she just doesn't really level up. I think Jillian Robertson is going to embarrass her on the ground if he gets to the ground, but is she going to get intimidated? Is a standout going to be too much for her? I originally had Agapova written down, but I'm going to switch it to Robertson. That's a gut instinct, gut reaction right there. So take one of the dogs out the board. I'm going to go Jillian Robertson just because I don't trust Agapova's cardio. I don't trust her submission defense. I think her submission offense is good. Submission defense is good. And Jillian Robertson is a grappler. She wants to get the fight to the ground. She's going to grapple you. And I think with Dean Thomas in the corner and they know how this woman fights, they're going to have a good game plan. -150 is a good line, not crazy. I would obviously back Agapova. It was a crazier line. I originally was on her. I'm making the switch. And I think Jillian Robertson by submission is probably the way you need to go in this fight. I mean, you could obviously do money line -150, put in a parlay. Might be a little safe bet because Agapova has been so up and down and consistent, but I think Jillian Robertson by submission, whatever that prop is, I don't think the props are out right now. It's a little early in the week. I think that's the way to go. I think that's the way you play. That's the name of the game. Let's win some money. That's something I'm going to add to my card there, even though I just completely switched that up. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? What are you going to do? Pick winners. Next up here, fun fight here. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, -170. I think he's climbed up a little bit. I got these lines yesterday versus Marc-Andre Barriou, +145. Fluffy embarrassed me. The last time he fought. He fought Josh Fremd, who I had a bet with Christian that Fremd was going to win that fight. Fluffy Hernandez became a guy that he's California, right? From California, but he's from the part of California where they raise Dagestanians, because that's what he looked like to Frem. Cardio, grappling, everything was on point. He looked a little shaky on the feet at times. He had some moments on the feet where it was a little rough, but his grappling and his cardio were on point. My biggest issue with Hernandez, right? Before the Rodolfo Vieira fight, he looked a little inconsistent, right? He didn't fight all that much. He got a good choke over Jung Yoon Park. Before that, Marcus Perez got him. Marcus Perez, flaked out of the UFC. Kevin Holland got into the body early. We can excuse that loss. A lot of canceled fights. Doesn't fight all that often, but Rodolfo Vieira, got grounded, got fucking mounted, got his back taken, whatever, by the jiu-jitsu legend. Survived it and choked him out, right? And then comes back after the huge win against Josh Fremd and looked like he's fucking needs to grow the Dagestanian beard. Then you got Marc-Andre Barriou, who's a good striker. He's a solid dude. He got knocked out by Chidi, which is actually surprising, but he's working on his grappling, but he's not a grappler. I think off his back is going to be a problem. Hernandez is a little undersized for 185, but I think that's what gives him the good cardio. Marc-Andre Barriou has struggled in the past with guys who grapple well. I just think Fluffy's pace and everything's going to be a little too much for him here. I like a decision. I can see a submission happening, but I'm going to go decision. I'm going to go Hernandez. I'm fairly confident in this fight. This isn't a mortal lock or anything like that, but as a Slimeball candidate, you guys probably already know that because my fat fingers hit the button on accident. But Hernandez grappling is superior. His cardio is superior. I think Marc-Andre is just he's not scary enough on the feet where I think it's going to be a problem. But, again, inconsistencies. This guy doesn't fight enough. Is going to come in as world-class shape like he has been or not. But I'm not going to waver. Okay, not going to waver. Stiff dick pick. Give me Anthony Fluffy Hernandez in a decision. I think he could submit him. If the price is right, decision him. We got Damon Jackson, a.k.a. Megamind. You see this guy's fucking head? Versus Pat Sabatini, Philly. What's in that water over there? Water. That's how they say it. Water. What's in the water over there? -190. I love Pat Sabatini. He's been a cash cow for me. These Philly guys, there's another one, Joe Pfeiffer, on the card later, but, Jeremiah Wells, Pat Sabatini, Sean Brady, you got the Dawkins brothers. I know they don't all train together, but and Joe Pfeiffer later on the card. I mean, these guys are all fucking tough. And Pat Sabatini might be the best of them all. He's good everywhere. Good striking, good on the ground. Damon Jackson, Megamind. Listen, my biggest problem with Damon Jackson, just shave your fucking head, bro. Look at this, right? He's a good-looking guy, right? I follow him on social media. He's a handsome dude. But spend some money on plugs or just take it off. Like, you can't fight with a hat on. It's so bad looking, but I constantly fade Damon Jackson because how terrible his hair is. But he's actually a really, really good fighter. The Lilo to Topuria fight, he got fucking smoked, but Topuria is an absolute beast. But Damon Jackson, last time he fought, where's it at? 21-4 is his record. Who did he fight? Yeah, Daniel Archuleta, Camilla Kirk, and Charles Rose are all decent little wins, but they're not Pat Sabatini, right? He looked great against Dan Archuleta or whatever, coming off the Contender Series. Very similar to Pat Sabatini. Likes to wrestle a little bit, likes to grapple, but he ain't Pat Sabatini. Pat Sabatini's a fucking dog in there. I like Sabatini in this fight. I like him big. Almost a mortal lock, but I have a problem picking. I think I picked Camilla Kirk over Damon Jackson. I know I picked Archuleta or whatever the fuck his name over Damon Jackson here. I'm against him a lot, and he's proven to be very, very good. He's good submission. He's long for the division. Striking's coming a long way. Chin is a little questionable, but I think Sabatini is good to grapple and grapple effectively here. I think cardio is not going to be a problem. I think Damon Jackson just out cardioed Argaletta his last time out, and I don't think that's going to happen with Sabatini. Sabatini minus 190. After this, he's going to go have some water. He's going to have a wall from Philly. I like Sabatini. I got a DM from a guy from Philly who I think trains with these guys. He said Sabatini, Piper, parlay, hammer it. Again, I love that pick as well. I should give credit to that guy. Let me look at my DMs. I'm not going to steal his ideas because that's actually fucking beautiful. Charlie Brady, gym-based parlay coming at you. Piper money line, Sabatini money line. Currently pays minus 110. Lay the hammer on it. Charlie _ Brady. Lay the fucking hammer on it, baby. Woo! Minus 110 parlay. The Philly special. The Philly parlay. Give me Sabatini in this fight. Take that parlay. Minus 110 is a good number. Not quite a plus money ticket, but Piper is pretty high. I mean, and Sabatini's going to close probably 2-1. All right. Trevin Giles. Minus 200 versus Louis Cosi. So I have a problem with this line. Trevin Giles hasn't won a fight at 170. Looked pretty good at 85. Now he's cut to 170. He's 0-2. Has he been finished in both those fights too? Is my memory failing me? He has. Justice Duplessis finished him at 185, And then Marco Morales finished him at 170. So this is his second fight at 170. Louis Cosi here. This son bitch. Him and his brother are 1-round fighters. They're gonna get you out. They're not. They look identical. In 7-1 with a lot of power. Trevin Giles does have good striking. Chin to left, question mark. He's been knocked out before. He's been touched before. His wrestling's okay, but I like Cosi at the dog here. I mean, screaming plus 170. I think this is no. He's not Philly. I thought he was a Philly guy. He's not. This is just a dog spot that I'm willing to take. I'm also going to take him by knockout. The only way I think he wins is by knockout. That could be a same game parlay over DraftKings.com. Plus 170 money line I like. That's a dog shot I'm willing to take here. Trevin Giles been inconsistent, coming off 2 losses here. Cutting 170 might not be the easiest cut for him. Getting just absolutely slept the last time out. He's going to, he's an aggressive fighter. He doesn't know how to fight in space or whatever. He's going to have the sides, going to have the reach, but Cosi's coming at him. Cosi's coming for his fucking head, bro. And I like Cosi here and plus 170. I don't see this pick given out a lot. Trevin Giles, easy. People look at minus 200. That's kind of a safe bet. They're like, that's easy. Parlay fodder. We'll throw him in a parlay. Nah, I wouldn't advise that. Wouldn't advise it. But I like Cosi as a knockout. I might even sprinkle first round knockout because the Cosi brothers tend to slow down a little bit. Right? Cardio's been an issue. So if you get out of the first round, this is a live bet spot. You can hammer Giles, because I do think the first round is going to be all Cosi. I truly do. I think he's going to get him out in the first round. So that's 3 bets right there. Cosi money line plus 170. Cosi by knockout, which is going to be another plus number. Cosi by knockout in the first round is going to be a gorgeous number. Give me the dog, right? I'm playing dogs here. That's dog bounty on it right there. Next up, Nicholas Mota minus 225 versus Cameron Van Camp. Plus 190. This line's moved a little bit, I believe, but this is the first fight of the night. So Cameron Van Camp, local kid, Indiana kid, him and his brother, I have seen fight several times locally years ago. Amateur, and then I saw a couple of their pro debuts. He debuted Cameron Van Camp short notice against Andre Fierro at 170. Fierro, big power puncher. Cameron Van Camp, 6'2". This fight's at 155, by the way. He's huge. He's a big kid. I've been in a foot away from him and his brother. He's a big kid. This cut is going to be hellish. But Mota, a little undersized, only fought once in the UFC, got knocked out by Jim Miller. Aggressive kid, but size plays a factor. If Cameron Van Camp makes his cut right, it implements his game, which is getting you to the ground. His striking looked pretty good against Fierro. He took Fierro, gave some shots at Fierro, but obviously ended up getting slept. But don't do that against Mota. Use your size. Get this fight to the ground. It could be a problem. Mota's a guy that came out of the Contender Series. A lot of people love. A lot of people talked about him. I think he's a talented guy, but I'm not raving about this guy. He's not jumping off the page for me, right? I believe I was on the Jim Miller side when they fought, but he's taking some time off. He's coming back, but I think he's going to be undersized here, and Cameron Van Camp likes to get the fight to the ground. He does have some good submissions. Use that size, work that clinch, slow the fight down, get it down. Another dog. Plus 190, dog. Give it to me. Sprinkle sprinkle a la mode on submission as well. Because I think he could win a decision. I think he can just, if his cardio's there, I think he can win a decision. Mota does have good hands. He's a pretty well-rounded fighter. Minus 225, though, I can't do. They're both 0-1 in the UFC. One guy's significantly bigger than the other. The other guy, I think, has an advantage on the ground. The other guy has an advantage on the feet. I'm going to go with the bigger guy with the advantage on the ground at plus 190. Sprinkle, submission, decision, possibly, but I think you're going to get a better bang for your buck by submission. Cameron Van Camp, let go. Trey Ogden versus Daniel Zahhuber. Zahhuber. This is the fight where I had to really kind of dig deep and figure out who these guys were. I know Trey Ogden debuted in the UFC and had a really close fight with Jordan Levitt. He's plus 235. Daniel Zahhuber, minus 280. Contender Series kid. And I'm like, okay, from Mexico. I was like, do I remember him from the Contender Series? Usually guys from the Contender Series, if I see the name, they jump out at me right away. He didn't jump out at me. Then I went back, watched some fights. Golden Boy's his nickname. 23 years old. Pretty good size for this weight class. And I look back against his Lucas Almeida fight. Unbelievable fight. Fought an undefeated fighter. Looked great at 21 years old. Then you look at all his other fights. Finish, submission, finish, decision. I know he's 21. I know he's coming from Mexico, which I think Mexico is starting to become a pretty good place to really kind of go down there and fight. Is he fighting for Combatas? Combatas fucking breeds fighters. All his wins back to 2018, 4-1, 4-0, 8-4, 12-3. He did fight a guy 0-0 and he ground and pounded him in one round. Lucas Almeida, 12-0. What is Almeida doing nowadays? He's 14-1. He's won 2 fights since that loss. So this kid is the real deal. Trey Ogden, close fight with Jordan Levitt. He's a good grappler, good wrestler. I remember that fight, but if you're coming up short against Jordan Levitt, who I think is very average, I think he's average on the ground, I think he's average on the feet, above average twerker, but I'm going to go Zahhuber here. This is a fight that I'm actually pretty confident in as well. I don't like to get ahead of myself. Contender Series coming in. He's 23 years old. I don't want to get the googly eyes for him and hammer him or whatever. I like a finish here. I like him to win. Minus 280 is very high. That's why I'm kind of putting a pause on it. I'm not running and putting him in a parlay or anything like that. Minus 280 is pretty high. I would play him money line. Maybe put him with someone else who's not as high that you're very confident in. Maybe like a two swing parlay. But I think Zahhuber is going to win this fight. I think he's younger, more talented, and yeah, I think he's going to get the job done here. Really interesting fight, though, because I don't know much about either. Even though I did rewatch both their fights, I'm still kind of whatever, but I think Zahhuber is just going to be the better fighter here. He jumps off the page a little bit more to me. Andre Fili, minus 120 versus Bill Algeo, plus 100. Kenny and I broke this down in the Yannick and Florian, which is on YouTube now. I hated that. What did I just do? That voice. Ugh. Anyway, Andre Fili versus Bill Algeo. I picked Fili. Spoiler alert. And Algeo, or Ken Flo picked Algeo. It's a great fight. They're very, very, very similar. Similar builds, similar styles. They're both kind of good everywhere. Philly's kind of been in a rut right now, and I like how self-deprecating and self-reflecting he is, but he is in a little bit of rut. He needs a little bit of a confident boost, and I think that's what he's going to get here in this Algeo fight. I think he matches up well with Algeo. I think Algeo's kind of good everywhere, and I think where he's kind of good everywhere, I think Philly's just that much better. This fight's going to decision. Bet the over. My side, my money line is going to be Philly. I probably won't have a lot of money on that, if any, but I do like the over, maybe in a parlay as well. Over in decision. Someone's going to win by the cards. I can also see this being a very hard fight to score, so sprinkle on a split decision as well. The judges don't know what the fuck they're doing nowadays. You get one guy can see this. I think it's going to be Philly, though, but we'll see. And Kenny and I are split, so, back who you want. The guy fought for the title 3 times with the guy who did not. Alan Amadoski, plus 330 versus Joe Pyfer, minus 410. I'm going to keep it short and sweet here. And I don't want to be so rude, but Amadoski stinks. The guy stinks.
It ain't got no gas in it.
He ain't got no gas. And Joe Pyfer broke his arm nasty on the Contender Series against Stolfus, right? Got slammed, broke it, came back, won by big knockout against a solid dude. Big, strong dude. Again, Philly tough. I already gave out the Philly parlay, the Philly special. I like him here at minus 410. He's a slime ball candidate. I like him. I'm going to play him and Sabatini together. I like him by finish here. Amadoski, I don't know how he got in the UFC. I just don't think he's all that great. He's got a majestic body here. We can see it right here, but give me Joe Pyfer. Again, I'm not trying to get super googly after a guy come on the Contender Series, but I think this matchup favors him very, very well. And I think Dana White, after week 1, when he's like, be like Joe Pyfer, and then you see him at the fights the next week, I think this is like, hey, Joe, we like what you did in the Contender Series, and that kind of lit a fire for weeks to come. Here's kind of a softball, a hairy softball, but a softball. Give me Pyfer. Enough of that. Tanner Bozier, minus 190 versus Rodrigo Nasimento. This fight, if it gave me pause at first, but then I was like, why am I pausing? This is easy. It's Tanner Bozier, and that's my side. Tanner Bozier. Don't like minus 190. I wouldn't play this straight. But, he's been exposed a little bit on the ground by like Lily Latifi took him down, but Nasimento has just been average. He looked average against Alan Badolt, who is not good. He's looked average everywhere. He's good on the ground. He's wild on the feet. No cardio.
It ain't got no gas in it.
No cardio. Tanner Bozier moves really well. His footwork prevents a lot of takedowns. Nasimento is the bigger guy, so he's going to probably try to take you down from the clinch. Bozier's pretty good in the clinch. I think he has struggled with Latifi when Latifi was diving for doubles and singles. Nasimento is not going to do that. He's not that kind of wrestler. He's just more of a grappler, drag you to the ground, do that. But on the feet, I think Bozier is got a hard head, good chin. I think he can stand up with anybody. Well, not anybody on the feet, but he's been in there with better competition too. He's been in there with Sirgan, didn't get finished. Been there with Arlovsky. He's been in there with some really good guys. So I like Bozier here, probably by decision, maybe late TKO if Nasimento just completely gasses. Wait till he's not going to finish in the first round. So wait till the second round and see Nasimento. If he's ain't got no gas in it, hammer Bozier by knockout on your live line. But I'm taking him here. Slimeball candidate number 3. I like Bozier. Again, threw some pause at me initially, but then I'm like, no, I'm going Bozier because I haven't seen Bozier in a while, right? Bozier was kind of like he was knocking dudes out and was kind of getting a nice little name for himself, had a couple setbacks. And it's nice to see him back here, but I like Bozier here with that Kentucky fucking waterfall in his head as well. So what are we at? Was that Bozier? Yeah, so we're at co-main event here. Co-main event, Chidi Bang Bang, baby. Inju Kawani versus RoboCop. Love this fight. Got very excited breaking this fight down in the Akin full ring. This is going to be a banger. The guy on the right on your screen, the guy on the right, RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez. He is 30 years old. I'm 36. Look at this. He looks 56 years old. Okay. I'm 6 years older than this man. What the fuck? I know I look young, but what the fuck? Banger of a fight here. Rodriguez, I always hammer him by submission because he's got this apparently great jiu-jitsu background, but he just wants to bang. Let me bang, bro. Chidi and Jaquani, this guy, legendary brother, amazing striking, big power, and I'm 0-2 on him in the UFC. I bet it against him both times. I love what he did against Dusko. Dusko goes, I can't stand with this guy. I'm going to take him down. Chidi went for a guillotine and then went for a nasty dart, almost had a dart. Instead of just going, I have no ground game, shit, I might as well hold on to this round and then pop up later. Chidi fought and got off his back and then stood up and then slept him. This kid hits hard. What? I can't. I get too fast in my brain. My mouth needs to pick up. Rodriguez, very powerful. Both these guys can easily knock each other out, for sure. When you look at that line, it's dead even. I'm going to go Chidi Bang Bang. He's going to be my send him home. Get him out of there. Send him home. I like Chidi in this spot. I think Rodriguez has been knocked out before. He's been buzzed before. And I think if Chidi touches him, it's going to be a problem. I think Rodriguez, though, has looked really good and has overperformed. He's 12-4, and I think he has one loss in the UFC. But I keep coming back to that Jordan Williams knockout in the Contender Series. That kind of throws me pause. And I think if Chidi is coming in right, coming in aggressive, and can stop some takedowns and work to his feet, not give up bad positions on the ground, because Rodriguez is a big, strong grappler. I think Chidi, if he lands anything, it's over. So give me Chidi Bang Bang in Jukwani. I'm not super confident, so this is definitely not parlay fodder, but I play pick'ems like nobody's business. Going with Chidi, going money line, going knockout, maybe even KO round 1. Let's fucking go. Main event. Love this main event. Corey Sandhagen versus Song YaDong. Corey Sandhagen minus 200. Song YaDong plus 170. How? Corey Sandhagen, my motor lock, baby. Slimeball Parlay candidate as well. I just think this is just, it's Song YaDong. I have read comments on the Anakin Florian YouTube page. A lot of people, some people, not a lot, they think we're sleeping on him because Kenny and I both pick Sandhagen. I don't know. I think Song YaDong is a good, powerful striker. He's undersized, at least not in this division, but in this fight. Like reach and height, Sandhagen moves really well. He's been 5 rounds with some of the best guys. I mean, he didn't make 5 rounds with Aljo, but he's felt them. Song YaDong likes to grapple. He can mix it up, but he really wants to land his hands. And I just don't know if he can. And he's never been 5 rounds in the UFC. He's been 5 rounds outside the UFC. He's a young guy. I'm sure the cardio is going to check out. But when you're chasing Sandhagen and you're getting pieced up, it's going to be hard, right? So maybe I am sleeping on him. But again, no soft dick picks. This is a stiff dick pick. I'm not wavering. There's cappers out there. I'm not going to name any names. They charge for their shit. But there's cappers out there that will tell you every way Sandhagen can win and every way Song could win, kind of pick a side, and then whatever side he picks, if that doesn't win, go, well, I mentioned he could win this way. Oh, my breakdown. Fuck off. No, nuts on the table. Sandhagen, babe. Ain't wavering. I'd rather be convicted and wrong than wavering right. Fuck that wavering shit. Give me Sandhagen. I just think he's better everywhere. I think he's better on the feet. I think he's he's working on his jiu-jitsu. Ryan Hall, which Kenny said, which is amazing. I didn't know that. So give me Sandhagen. Love the main event, though. All right, so want to keep this a tight 40. We're at 41, so I got to give you the Slimeball Parlay. I did not give you one last week. I felt bad. I did get a lot of messages. Where's the parlay? Where's the parlay? Feel terrible, right? Because, again, I got my head about it. That's on me. So, Slimeball Parlay right here, plus 366. And no, you don't have to adjust your screens. That is a 4-legger, a 4-headed dragon. Corey Sandhagen, Tanner Boser, Joe Pyfer, and Fluffy Hernandez, plus 366. Woo! Joe Pyfer, by the way, I have written down here, could be Mortal Lock number 2. I briefly talked about that fight. I think you hammer Joe Pyfer. I know he's minus 410. I know it's kind of an easy way to go out, but that's a Slimeball Parlay that's going to get us on track. That's a Slimeball Parlay that's going to fucking win us money, baby. Plus 366, almost 4-1. How does that lose? I know there's going to be Canadians that are upset that I picked against Barry, and I think he matches up well with Fluffy, but time will tell. Last looks. I will share that on social media. All right. At Brian Petrie MMA on not Instagram yet. I am going to switch it. On Twitter. Brian Petrie MMA on Twitter. MMA Takes Podcast on Instagram. Let's subscribe, baby. Subscribe. Audio versions are on Apple and Spotify if you're just an audio guy. But let's subscribe to that channel. We need 150 more to 1K so I can shut the fuck up about it. Right? But you guys are the best. Let's win some money this weekend, huh? How about it? Hey, how about it?